Breaking news from Colorado out of Boulder. Yes, they have announced their starting quarterback. No, it is not Julian Lewis, but keep an eye out on Lewis for this game. Yes, Coach Prime and obviously the Bucks have announced Kaidon Salter as their starting quarterback in the matchup on Friday night against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Man, it should be a good one. Obviously, I'm going to have post-game reactions, so y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on my TikTok and all my social media handles. I'll have a live reaction. But, what does this all mean? So I did an article breaking down what both of these quarterbacks brings to the table, right? When you look at a Julian Lewis, you're looking at a guy that can escape from the box. His improvisation is different. As it alludes to here, obviously, he talks about his potential to play in platoon situations and be able to be swapped out. Same thing happened at Oregon State in Childs 2 years ago. So he's an accurate quarterback. He completed over 76% of his passes his final year in high school football. Yes, he's a freshman, but he's also thrown for 48 touchdowns in all 3 seasons when he was in high school, right? Has all the accolades you could think of. Took his team to 2 out of 3 state championships in his career with the Carrollton Trojans. So, yeah, you're looking at a guy that can get the ball off, improvise, create big plays, smash plays down the field, and really deliver for the Colorado Buffaloes. We will see, though, how much he gets to play in week 1. Now, Salter is more of a running quarterback, right? Yes, can he throw the ball? But he's not as accurate as a Julian Lewis, right? He only completed, I think, 54% of his passes compared to a year ago. But he does help your RPO game. He gives you something that you've never had, even with Shedeur Sanders, who's probably one of the best quarterbacks to come through Colorado Buffs history and one of the best players to come through their history, right? Can Shedeur move around? Sure, but he can't move around to the ability that this kid can when he was at Liberty. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last season and had 11 touchdowns, right? So you're looking at a guy that can run the RPO game with a Michael Welch, with a Dalen Hayden, and he also can kind of peel off that and hit your weapons. Now, they're not bereft of weapons at all, right? When you look at Colorado, they have a Draylen Miller, right? They have an Omarion Miller. They have guys that can get the ball to in space and cook. Is it to the level they had last year? No, but they had guys that took advantage of their reps last year as true freshmen that's going to have the ability to be able to ball and play early and often in this offense. I think that bodes well for, obviously, Kaidon Salter, ability to get the ball quick, get to him in space, and being able to make big plays. Now, we will see how much more improved he is. Now, where he struggles is the short and intermediate, but he's really good with his downfield throwing, right? He completes a lot of those passes, and he's able to hit his receivers in stride when you look at his highlight tape. But the thing is, will he get deterred early? Because Georgia Tech defense is going to be different. They have the position flexibility. They have guys that can move all over the field. This defense is going to shock a lot of people this year, especially with Blake Gideon as the defensive coordinator. They have everything they need in order to be disruptive. My thing for him is, does he get rattled early? Because if he does, that will leave the spot open for Julian Lewis as a true freshman. So he does have the starting job, and credit and obviously shout out to him. But now it's going to be keeping the starting role, right? Because you can get it all day, but can you keep it? Can you be productive on the field? Can you lead your team past adversity? Can you be that guy for them? We're going to find out a lot. And I want to see if he's going to be able to complete those passes consistently against the Georgia Tech secondary, who I think will be one of the better ones in the country when it's said and done. But that's my thoughts. Shout out, obviously, to Pete Nichols. He broke this news. Officially the new starting quarterback for the Colorado Buffs ahead of the matchup against Georgia Tech. I will have predictions coming up this upcoming week on Wednesday. I think that's going to probably be a day, either Wednesday or Thursday. I will do predictions for each game and give my thoughts. But that's my thoughts so far of the big news ahead of the matchup. Comment down below, Buff fans, your thoughts on Kaidon Salter being named the starter.